Hello and welcome to the Mercury Retrograde video. Now, there will be a link down below if you'd like to book a reading for Mercury Retrograde, as well as a link for the new moon solar eclipse happening on 19th-20th of April, as well as timestamps down below showing you how Mercury Retrograde will be impacting your sign, and a link for appreciation of these videos. Now, let's get into it with the introduction first. Mercury is the planet that rules over our intellect, communication, technology. It rules over connection. So that's why technology becomes relevant. Technology is how we communicate and connect to one another. It also rules over small distance trips, right? Mercury does rule over that. So it's important to be aware of that. Now, during a Mercury retrograde, Mercury went into its pre-shadow period on the 7th of April. And during a Mercury retrograde period, because it will be starting on 21st of April 2023 until the 14th of May 2023 in the sign of Taurus. Now, during a Mercury retrograde period, we can be met with miscommunication, misunderstandings. Past experiences come back. So, if there was a conflict you were dealing with in the past, it can now re-enter into your life. People from the past can come back into your life, including exes, family members, people you haven't spoken to a long time, friends, frenemies. All those things can now re-enter into your life for you to reassess, re-evaluate, and see how you want to work with this energy. The best time to make a decision if anyone from the past comes back into your life is after the Mercury retrograde period. Because think of yourself under a mental fog. Because when Mercury goes retrograde, the planet slows down and stops. So basically, it's almost as if your mind and your thinking faculties is slowed down. And this can create lack of concentration, mental fog, becoming forgetful, needing more sleep and rest. It's oftentimes during Mercury retrograde period that people feel like they want to slow down. People want to disconnect from communication and want to go inwards. It is a time for tapping into your intuition, and you can have very powerful dreams during this time. So understand that. So if you're trying to have a conversation with someone, a lot of miscommunication can happen because they might not understand you because they mentally now can't comprehend what you say to them. That can happen. At times though, the truth can come out. Mercury rules information. So any information that you need to know, anything done in secret can come to light during a Mercury retrograde because it loves to feed us information that we've missed. This is very relevant. It can happen. I've seen it happen. Another thing that happens during a Mercury retrograde period is if there's any information or details you've missed, you now get the opportunity to redo it and reorganize. This has happened to me with my website where I missed something. And basically it happened during a Mercury retrograde and I had the opportunity to redo it, and reorganize it. So those are the kinds of things that can happen. The details that we missed, the information that we didn't put out or we missed ourselves, we now have the opportunity to redo it. But it can bring secrets to light. So if anyone's keeping anything from you, a Mercury retrograde can be very revealing. Mercury retrogrades are excellent times to complete anything you've been thinking about, anything you wanted to work on. Completion is good during a Mercury retrograde. That is definitely something to go for. It is not the time to start anything new. So if you just have that epiphany during a Mercury retrograde to I should do this, give it some time, let it stew within you. Okay, don't just decide, I want to go move in with my boyfriend. That is also another thing that you can later on reconsider once Mercury goes direct and your mental faculties are feeling more in alignment and this doesn't seem like the right decision. So take your time with making decisions. If there's anything you need to sign, reread before signing. That's the best thing you can do. But you can complete anything you've been working on. So say if you've been planning to move home and during Mercury retrograde now, it comes up that you can complete things. Mercury likes to bring things to completion. Okay, and that's why we can find completions within cycles in relationships and connections and communications that we've done. Like we no longer want to communicate with that person or people, we disconnect from certain groups. But remember, people can also re-enter from the past back into your life. This is a great time for healing, rest, rejuvenation, revisiting old situations in order to gather and reassess things, reevaluate it, see where you are now, what you've learned from the experience. Really good for all of those things. Now, this Mercury retrograde is pretty relevant as it is happening in eclipse season. So Mercury retrograde is known for its miscommunication, misunderstandings, past events coming back, and people. and us having to revisit past experiences. But it's really going to be a chaotic one because there's that wild card energy of eclipse season. Now on the 19th, 20th, there's a new moon solar eclipse happening in the sign of Aries, and on the 5th, we will have a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. So Mercury goes retrograde on the 21st, right after our new moon solar eclipse. We are in eclipse season, and eclipse seasons take us into the next 6 months. So during this time, already things are very unstable. Eclipses are wild cards. Wild cards meaning anything can happen. Right? Anything can happen. And it's a time generally where doors close on you. This relationship comes to an end, where you working can automatically be done at that place. You decide, or sometimes the universe decides for you. Most times with eclipses, it's about the universe deciding for you, because it's dealing the chips, and where they fall is now what you'll be working towards for the next 6 months. So not anything can happen during eclipse seasons. It's important to watch your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. That means mentally, know that you are in eclipse season. It is a time of anything can happen, wild card energy, right? Not the greatest time to just randomly go out and sign that contract in any event. It's a time to slow down, see what's happening, see what opportunities are coming to you, see what situations are coming to a close within your life. And then after eclipse season, working with the energy, which again would be around the 14th, 15th of May, right? So give yourself that time. So 2 weeks after the eclipse season, 2 weeks after the lunar eclipse, the full moon lunar eclipse. So understand that eclipses are wild cards. Mentally do that. Right? Slow walks, nature, meditation, journaling, just to gather yourself. Emotionally, a lot of emotions are going to come through for you. Eclipses are points that push us towards destiny and end karmic cycles within our lives. So emotionally, a lot of stuff, new feelings are coming through. All feelings are being brought up too, for you to purge them out so you can accept the new. And then we can have very emotionally charged experiences during eclipse seasons. So that's something that can also happen. Another thing, physically, our health. Eclipses are points of powerful energy. They're supercharged as well. And given that the planetary energy is supercharged, our bodies become supercharged. And this is a time where physically our health can feel not at its best. Listen to your body. If you need medical treatment, go forth and get that. If you need more rest, give yourself that. Not a time, to push yourself too hard, right? Slow and steady. And I suggest you take it slow and steady, given that this is a Mercury retrograde period. It is a slowdown, and eclipses are wild cards. Now let's talk about Mercury retrograde in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is a Venus sign. It's ruled by Venus. It's Venusian in nature. It's a fixed earth sign. It has to do with our assets, our value, right? Value as in valuables, our resources, our money, our skills, our talents, and what we value. So a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Taurus is highly impacting our values. We will have to rethink what we value. We will have to rethink our skills and talents, collectively, all of us. So what are your skills and talents? Did you sleep on yourself and forget that you had this talent that you've now left in the past, and now it can be brought back into this current moment? Or are the skills and talents that you have not growing you? A Mercury retrograde will show you that. How can you grow yourself? Taurus is growth. It's an earth sign. But the seeds of your skills and talents that will boost your income and finances. I would suggest that Mercury retrograde especially can bring up a lot of confusion, conflict around finances and money, and fights around that. So be very clear with your money. Very, very clear when dealing with people and money and dates and so forth. Another thing a Mercury retrograde can also do is money that's owed to you can now be paid to you. If you were trying for that job previously and weren't getting through, you can now get that opportunity. Mercury retrograde can give to you in that way. But remember, like I said, conflicts around money, especially money that you and a partner have together, living with someone, that can really happen. Conflict also and theft. If there's someone new that comes into your life with some great deal, take a moment and take a breath, because it is Mercury retrograde, so communication isn't always true. especially with someone new, during a Mercury retrograde and finances. They might scam you out of your money. So be very clear about your money dealings, scams and all of those kinds of things, especially whenever we're dealing with something with Taurus. It has to do with our money, our skills, our talents, and what we value. If you value your home, your work, all of those things, we'll be reassessing and re-evaluating the people within your life, whether that's your co-workers that work well with you during this Mercury retrograde. You'll be seeing, do I really work well with these people? Do I need to reassess the situation or the relationship that I have? Do I feel like I am of value to this relationship? Does this person seem of value to me? That's important. But be very clear with your finances. Do not be sharing out your banking pin or something weird like that with someone you don't know. All of those things, or even online, right? With someone random that sends you a message in your messages that you don't know. Because during a Mercury retrograde, we can have that miscommunication and theft can happen. Theft of valuables, the theft of our resources, all of those kinds of things during a Mercury retrograde in Taurus. However, we can be paid for monies that are owed to us from previous times. We can work on ideas and skills and talents that we had in previous times that we slept on. We can now bring it back. We can do those things. We can also find what we valued before, whether that was a person, a situation, can come back into our lives, and we can reassess that. But make those decisions after, when Mercury goes direct on the 14th of May, give it a couple of days, and also after the eclipse season, which is quite a wild card energy in any event. So be prepared for that. Now let's talk about Mercury retrograde and the signs. Let's start with Taurus. Before I forgot, nearly forget this. I forgot miscommunication. Well, Mercury's in its pre-shadow period of, like on the 7th of April, Mercury enters pre-shadow period. So we can really experience this miscommunications and misunderstandings. So, and I nearly forget something. Mercury retrograde in Taurus will impact the fixed signs the most. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Okay? Because it's happening in a fixed sign. So Mercury retrograde will be opposing Scorpio and squaring the fixed signs, Leo and Aquarius. And that's important to be aware of. The other two signs that will be impacted by Mercury retrograde will be Gemini, and more so Gemini, and Virgo, because with Gemini it will be happening in the 12th house, which is a house of endings and long-term pause. It can be very emotional, sensitive. So Gemini and Virgo, and that's important to be aware of. So remember that those signs, if you have those placements, those will be impacted by this Mercury retrograde. So Taurus, we're going to start with you because Mercury is retrograding in your sign. Be careful with what you say, what you do. Miscommunication, misunderstandings. This is a time when your self-expression is coming up for reevaluation, and how you express yourself and how do you communicate. Yes, people from the past might want to communicate with you. Remember, you can express yourself, but wait until after Mercury retrograde to make any final decisions. Ideas and goals that you've had from the past can now come back into your life. Mercury retrograding in your sign. The most important thing, though, I'd say for you, Taurus, is watch how you communicate and express yourself. This is where people can misunderstand you, or you could say the wrong thing, foot in mouth kind of moments. So take a moment and a breath before you express yourself. And Taurus, you rule the throat. So you're a very direct sign as it is. So before you say something, think about it and really rethink it before you express it. And that can save you a lot of trouble. Other than that, your goals, you can do goals that you've had previously, like go after them, but take your time with rediscovering anything new. This is a time of reevaluating and rediscovering how you can express yourself and communicate better within your connections to others, right? And the world around you. Now for you, Gemini, this Mercury retrograde is impacting you in a way that's going to make you sleepy, exhausted, needing more rest. Your mind will be feeling very offline, and you need a moment for self. This is a time for solitude. This is a great time when you might think about ending things, situations, people, bringing closure, finding healing. This is also a time for people from way in your past can re-enter into your life. So you need a moment and time for you. It's a very healing time. You can feel quite emotional and sensitive during this time. The best thing is rest. Take care of your mental, emotional, and physical health so that you are not, giving to yourself. I would say give to yourself. Give yourself physically what you need. Don't overexert and push yourself. You can really find yourself feeling very drained out and unwell during this time. So take a moment, spend some time alone. This is what this Mercury retrograde wants for you. Now, Cancer, miscommunication and misunderstandings in your social circles and friends. This is where you'll be reevaluating the people you socialize with, the people that you connect to, the people that you talk to, right? The friends, the work colleagues, the groups that you joined, whether that's a group for charity or any group. The thing about when we talk about this energy, it has to do with any group that you are joining within your life. You will be reconsidering your interaction, friend group, family group, co-worker group. As long as it's a group and it's people, you'll be reassessing and reevaluating whether you fit into this group and what gossip can come through during this time, especially during your group circles and interactions with people. This is a time where you'll be reevaluating what you want for your future, hopes and dreams for yourself, and the people that you connect to in order to do so. But it's a time of reevaluation of your circles that you interact and mingle through. If you have any events during this time, stay observant about what people say. And you can really see from there whether you really want to connect to these types of people. Leo, for you, this is squaring you and this Mercury retrograde is impacting you. So your career, your goals, as well as your reputation. Mercury retrograde is highlighting your reputation. Things are going to come up about your reputation, who you are as a person, what you say, what you do. This is where the spotlight's on you. And Mercury retrograde is like, watch yourself, watch what you say, watch what you do. Your reputation is coming up for review. And not only that, when it comes to authority figures, people, and that can be parents, it can be employers, people that we look up to. They'll be looking at you too, and you can find conflict around employers, authority figures, be it parents, people older than you, anything like that, where now there's conflict within those connections. And also when it comes to your reputation, so no outbursts, no being overly dramatic in situations. And I know that's a difficult one because when Leo's upset, they're upset, but know that your reputation is being watched right now, and you can be seen in a negative way and what you are doing too, especially. So be more aware of yourself and what you're putting out there, especially. And this can even be on social media. If you have a reputation on social media, like you're putting out information, people are seeing you, this is where they can I don't feel what you said is right. Okay? Virgo, this is asking you to shift a perception within your belief systems about yourself. It's not that bad, especially because it has to do with your philosophy, sense of self, travel. If you need to travel, check and recheck time, date, and give yourself enough time if you met with any delays along the way. So this can bring up delays for traveling. It can bring up delays in education, anything you want to learn, anything you want to expand upon. You'll find I can't expand, I can't grow into who I want to be. You can find miscommunication with people from foreign places and from you. People that are different from you especially. So it's where you might find if you have a friend that lives far away, there can be a lot of miscommunication, misunderstanding, different country from you, so forth like that. But it definitely, and anyone from a different country that you've spoken to previously, you're not going to connect with. But it does offer you the opportunity to shift in your belief systems. What belief systems are outdated? But you might find it very difficult in your expansion and growth at this time. I wanted to expand and grow, but I'm not where I want to be. And where I thought I'd be a couple years ago is not where I am. Those are the things that you'll be revising within your life, your expansion, growth within your life. But any travel plans, check your vehicle, right? Make sure it has oil, water, change all the things you need to change, services and so forth. Do all the things that you need to do to make sure that you are protected when it comes to any travels and checking of appointments and so forth. Now for you, Libra, this has to do with intimacy, bonding, and shared finances. You might be met with unexpected expenses, like something you need to pay, debts and so forth. Great time for paying debts though. Great time. If you had the idea to pay that debt, you can do that. It can be also a very revealing time for secrets. Secrets can come to light. Good time for that. It can be a time where you can be feeling like you're revisiting past traumas, past anxieties. Excuse me. A time to revisit those past traumas, past anxieties. You are reworking these things. You are seeing what you need to let go of, right? And what is no longer serving you. Power plays in relationships can come through at this time. So you'll be revising that. And this will be a time to look at your finances and reevaluate where you're investing your money, where you're spending your money, budgets, especially joint partner finances with a partner. You can be met with conflict when it comes to a partner and finances. All of those things about assets that are jointly owned. But you'll be reevaluating, reassessing, and past traumas that have been in the past, you'll be going through them, relinquishing and taking back your power, and not letting those things hold power over you anymore. Anyone that had power dynamics, intimate relationships can come back. Intimate relationships doesn't only have to be with a partner, but that can come back, but also when it comes to anyone that you were emotionally open with, where it was that kind of intimacy, a friend, a family member. Power dynamics, you will be revisited, and those people that you shared vulnerable parts of yourself can come back. This will be a time where information and secrets can come to light, especially for you. Scorpio, exes, people from the past. So this can be people from the past, platonic relationships, especially exes for you. And also old business associations and connections can come back into your life at this time. This will be a point to reevaluate those things. Miscommunication within partnerships existing can happen. Be it platonic, a friendship, wherever you are communicating one-on-one with someone, a family member even. The communication can really turn to conflict really quickly. So think about the things before you express them. But you might feel as though people are wanting to create conflict with you, almost like they don't understand you, they're not getting you kind of vibes, you know, they're just opposing your views, they're not really listening to you, because Mercury retrograde is happening opposite you. So for you, Scorpio, it is really important for you to spend some time reevaluating your connections to others, platonic friendships, family members, love, all relationships. If you have any frenemies, they can come back as well during this time. This is a time for you to reevaluate and reassess your relationships. Miscommunication, misunderstandings can happen there. But Mercury retrograde is just showing you that you need to really see and what you need to learn about these connections to others. For you, Sagittarius, this can bring up conflict with co-workers, your working environment, conflict also in feeling unorganized. This can also bring conflict to your day-to-day life, like your routine, like you want to wake up early, but you wake up late and you miss the bus. So be prepared for that. You wake up earlier, try to get enough sleep, try to take better care of your mental, emotional, and physical health. Yes, it's also going to impact your health. To have you check in with how you're taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically. Are you getting the rest? Are you making sure that you're not mentally overwhelmed? All of those things, because it will impact your routine, and there will be delays within your day-to-day routine. So your day-to-day routine is how we get up, go to work, do the things we need to do. You might find delays in that. And also miscommunication and misunderstandings and conflict with co-workers. This is a time for you to reassess your working environment and how can things be improved upon. Capricorn, right? This for you has to do with romantic connections. Reevaluate, reassess romantic connections. Yes, romantic connections from the past can come back into your life. You'll be thinking a lot about past romances. This will be on your mind and on your heart. You might even want to text an ex. Don't, right? Mercury retrograde is wanting you to reassess and reevaluate your past romances and how you are currently within your romantic life. This is also a time for you to reassess and reevaluate your creative pursuits. Creative pursuits that you had previously, you now can get in touch with. It wants to reawaken creativity with you through looking down memory lane and seeing what you've forgotten when it comes to your creativity. Creativity is so important, right? It can be a hobby, it can be a creativity when it comes to work projects, but ultimately it's reawakening that for you and also redefining what romance means within your life. Aquarius. Miscommunication and misunderstandings with family, people that you have within your heart too and allow into your home, soul family. Miscommunication, misunderstandings, and conflict there. Past memories can come back, especially those from childhood. Family members from the past can re-enter into your life. This is a time where you will be talking to family members a lot about past experiences. This will be a time that will be very emotional for you during this Mercury retrograde. So give yourself a moment. You are revisiting past emotional experiences, going back into those experiences and working through those experiences so that you can feel after Mercury retrograde emotionally stronger. But it might be very emotionally draining. You need comfort, you need rest, you need time at home, and you might feel that way. You need some time away from the noisy world. It might be very difficult to communicate. Your mind is deep within your emotions and taking you into emotional experiences. So you need some time for you, and the people that you will have around you will bring comfort to who you are emotionally, who you feel safe with. Because safety, security, your home as well, not only just family, domestic matters, where you're living and residing might come up. This can be conflict within where you are living, like all of a sudden you might need to move, things like that. Although if you've been working on moving during this Mercury retrograde period, you can actually complete the move, you know, redecorate your space will be very good for that. Decluttering your home will give you emotional and mental clarity. Pisces. Communication, networking, and information. Conversations get very, very wonky for you during this Mercury retrograde period. People want to talk about the past. You're also thinking a lot about the past, especially during this Mercury retrograde. You might be feeling very immensely overwhelmed. The things and the paperwork that you need to do not procrastinate, get it done. It will catch up to you during Mercury retrograde and you'll be feeling overwhelmed. Best way is to get a to-do list, get a checklist, do the things you need to do. It's the only way to get through. Okay, Pisces? And remember that you'll be reassessing how you communicate and express yourself. You can network, but network with people that you previously networked with. Now you will find the opportunities. If that was difficult and challenging before, opportunities can come through previous networks and connections. However, if you want to connect or network when it comes to marketing now, anything new, it won't be the best time for you to do it if you randomly decide to do it. This is all about your communication, the way that you think and express yourself, that is going through also a revamp here. And express yourself, your mentally, how you think about yourself, more so. And for you, Pisces, I would say when it comes to travel, especially vehicle, car, bus, modes of transport, make sure you're on time, give yourself enough time. There can be delays. And when it comes to your vehicle, check everything, right? Oil, water, pressure, so forth. Now for you, Aries, Mercury is retrograding in the sign of Taurus, Aries. And this is your second house too that's happening inside of money, skills, and talents. You might all of a sudden get this bill and there might be something you need to pay. This will not be the ideal time for you to spend a lot of money. You might have regrets if you do so. So don't overspend, okay? Be very wary of your money. Any skills or talents that you've been working on previously, or you were working on something and you were sleeping on yourself and you forgot about it, now you can implement it. This is a great time to boost your skills and talents on things that you wanted to do previously. If there's something random that pops into your mind, don't do it. All right? Previously, things that you've been working on, ideas, opportunities for money, you can get. Anyone owes you money can also be paid to you now. This would be a time for you not to get into any business dealings, right? It is involving your money. So if you might meet anyone new and they're like, I got this great opportunity, please sign on the dotted line. Say no during this Mercury retrograde period, because this can also affect your finances in a negative way. I would say budget for the next couple of weeks, that's all. you can't spend after the Mercury retrograde, but because it's affecting your money directly, your income, your resources, your food, and so forth, those kinds of things, the general financial stability and how you earn money, this will be a time for you to slow down on your spending and look at how you can save money and how you can better work with your money, and what skills and talents do you have, especially previously, that you can now get the opportunities from. If there's anyone that owes you money or money was taking long to come to you, it can be completed during this time. So it's not at all financially bad. It's telling you anything previously financially that you've been working on, you can gain, right? But it is telling you that don't do anything new financially with your money. And if someone says, hey, I have this awesome deal, it's the best thing, just, we can do this like 2 days from me speaking to you and so forth within the Mercury retrograde phase, don't do it. It financially won't be the best viable option for you. It won't be reliable for you, because this is the energy of our finances are reliable to us and what we can trust. So remember that this will be a time where you need to really focus on how you spend your money too. No impulse spending during this time. So just take it slow and easy. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe and comment down below.